Hello, people. Just want to thank God today. Today, Thanksgiving. We know the history, but let's just thank God. Thank God for what He has done for all of us in our lives. I know there's some people are struggling right now, but I pray for you. But my dad, who I love, he's given them to me, and we had differences when we were young, but God, Jesus turned it around. My dad, there's a lot of people here that some of them don't have families, and my heart goes out to them. It's a sad thing. It's a little noisy in there, so I'm going to maybe take a walk. The news and just people in general who tell me there's a lot of stuff going on in life amongst people that are lonely and don't have no one. And whatever the case is, I can tell you, I know what you feel like. I know what you feel like to be alone. Jesus knows what it feels like to be alone. Jesus was in the Olive Garden. And when he was there, it said in the Bible that there was a stone throw away. The disciples were away from him, who went with him. And they decided to fall asleep. They fell asleep, and Jesus was going through something. The scientists said, who examined the actions that were taking place, that this Jesus, away from the Bible, when he was in the Olive Garden, he went through an extreme stress. The stress to the point where blood was coming out of the pores of his sweat. Imagine when he was there in the Olive Garden, he said to the disciples, "Can't you be with me 1 hour?" Imagine that. Imagine how you felt. Can't you be with me 1 hour? I can only imagine, because what happened to me was these demonic spirits trying to just bombard your mind and your heart that you're a loser. You're never going to amount to anything. Look at you. Look at you. Everybody's looking at you like a fool. And I know what you feel like, because Jesus knows what you feel like. And Jesus could have took off and went into the wilderness, but he chose to take himself all the way to the cross to die for you and you and you and me too. And I thank him today, because today is Thanksgiving. I thank him that he died on the cross for me. And I'm telling you, God is the only way. When he was in that Olive Garden, he suffered so much. Can you imagine Satan showing visions of him where they were going to put these 9-inch hooks onto his back as they whipped him, and then just hooked on him and ripped the flesh out? Then 9-inch, 7-inch nails onto his wrists below the hand. Can you imagine them nailing him there, you, and then nailing his feet? And he did it willingly. He said he was a sinless lamb. He came here to show us that I know what you're going through. All the pain that when you're sitting on the edge of your bed, wondering where all the time went. Why am I suffering? Why am I lonely? In these days of holidays, some people commit suicide because they're so lonely. Some people in hospitals that I've seen, children, adults, alone. Their parents abandoned them and left them there in the hospital because they were sick. Some of them elderly. Their children abandoned them because they were too busy in the world. And just people in general, just sitting there sick, wishing they can die because they don't want to be here no more. I know what that feels like. I know what that feels like, people. And I'm here to tell you, Jesus knows what it feels like. All the pain that he went when he went to the cross. He looked up to heaven. He said, "Father, why have you forsaken me?" You see, God, Jesus knows your pain. He knows everything you're going through. He knows the hurt. He knows the brokenness of the heart. And he wants you to come to him, to embrace everything about him, the morals of his word that brings life.